Hello and welcome back, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Designing for the Desert Sustainable Building Strategies for Arid Regions. I'm Udit Methila, and every Sunday at 2 p.m. Dubai time, we bring together professionals shaping climate responsive development across the GCC. Today's session focuses on something extremely important and often misunderstood: sustainability within developer led projects. In the Gulf, particularly in Dubai, large scale residential and mixed use developments are moving fast, but embedding sustainability into cost, design, procurement, construction, handover, and operations, that requires structured thinking. It requires integration and it requires internal leadership. And that's exactly what today's guest represents. I'm pleased to welcome S Shruti, Senior Sustainability Engineer at Shobha Realty. She is a highly qualified sustainability professional with lead AP in both BD plus C and O&M. She's also a well AP, Edge expert, and Estidama PQP. She brings experience from consulting and now from the developer side, which gives her a valuable dual perspective. Today, she'll share insights into how sustainability frameworks operate within developer ecosystems, the balance between certification and actual performance, ESG integration in real estate delivery, and the practical realities of implementing green standards in the UAE market. This conversation is principle led and system focused, not project specific, and will offer valuable lessons for architects, consultants, and developers alike. Welcome, Shruti, to Designing for the Desert. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Udit. Thank you for having me here. And it's been really, good exposure for me and for all the, joinees who joined for to understand more about the sustainability and green building exposure. So, and thanks for the warm introduction about me. And I would like to add few brief introduction about myself. So, I am working in Dubai and especially in the green building sector for more than 5 years, and the challenge is the experience which I faced and which I'm working on it. I'm really glad that I will share here. So yeah, let's begin.
Super. So I'm just going to share the presentation. All right, here we go.
Yes, so my topic, as Mr. Udit mentioned, it's basically integrating green building certification into climate responsive strategy. So here I am basically, before starting the presentation, I would like to brief like what exactly I'm going to explain here. So we all know about some green building certification like LEED, which is globally recognized, and apart from that, there is one more certification which is currently developing in Middle East and as well as in India, that is EDGE green building certification. So I would like to highlight, the importance of this green building certification. There is no comparison between these two, but yeah, I would like to as I have worked on these two certifications, so I will just put my thoughts on that. Okay, so let's start. Fine. So let's start with a very basic term that our desert is not empty. It is engineered by nature. Like it is itself is itself is a balanced ecosystem. It supports stabilized flora and fauna, and that itself, adapted to water scarcity, extreme heat, as well as high solar radiation. Even the creatures are also adapted to such kind of atmosphere. So this desert system, what I feel like, if we are involved in such desert system, it depends on the adaptability. We feel, it's not about abundance, it's about the adaptability for the desert system. We should learn, like, there is a lack of there is a shortage of water scarcity is there. There is a intense sun and temperature extreme is there. So how we can manage, so few strategies which should not be similar to any cold region country. Here it's different. So for the survival strategy, we should use the sustainability here. So now, okay, so regarding the green building, I think most of us are aware about the, basic definition of green building. So I would like to, point out the difference between the conventional and green building, like, how we can differentiate both the buildings. So if the building has, the energy and water efficiency is better, we can save the energy usage and the water usage both. For water, we can say indoor and outdoor water usage is there. So how, we can reduce that, what type of strategies we can implement, especially in the Middle East area region. Apart from that, the, sustainable material selection, which, basically start from the procurement side, like how we are going to select the sustainable material, which has, the recycled content will be there, which has a, locally sourced material, how we can, select. And also the indoor environmental quality, because, mostly we spend our most of the time indoors. So how we can make it better? There are various strategies which is, already provided in the green building categories. So how, we can implement that. And also the waste management part. It's not about, during construction, like during construction of any green building project, it's not ends during construction. After occupancy itself, how we can, manage the waste. So this all gathers together, and then we can tell, it's a complete sustainable green construction. Okay, and in especially in Middle East, few, like this basically the requirement for any, green building certification is actually common, but based on the location it varies. So, for Middle East region, we can focus more on the natural ventilation part, more on the reflective roofing, how we are selecting the orientation and design of any building, that we need to, focus more, how we can use more, locally sourced material. How, first we need to, for especially for the Gulf region, we need to find it out, like in which the selection of the material, we need to check with different vendors, who's having the recycled content, who's having the better regional material. So based on that, we can prioritize them, the vendor. So that itself help us. So it's a very, initial step to do that, but yeah, it's really help. So overall, we have to reduce the carbon emission of any product, right? So in that way we can do that. And also, to improve the water conservation, yeah, with the help of, use of low flow fixtures, and also selection of the native plant species. And as I mentioned, the waste reduction, which before, during, and after the occupancy, we need to check. Now moving forward, okay, so we all know about, there are various green building certification currently available in all over the world. LEED is actually globally recognized green building certification. Apart from that, we have ST Rama, which is Abu Dhabi based, and in Dubai we have Al Safat and EHS Trakhis. So region base, the intent actually is same for all the green building certification, but place to place it varies. Specifically for the well building certification, it is mainly for the comfort, and well being of the human beings, of the occupants. So for that we target well, and the other is edge, which is now, that not famous that much. And it's actually excellence in design for greater efficiency. And this part also I will discuss in my, coming slides about the EDGE certification. So yeah, let's move. Okay, so lead, as I mentioned, it stand for leadership in energy and environmental design. It is voluntary certification, and it has basically four certification level, starting from certified silver, gold, and platinum. So to achieve those certification level, I'm not going to, explain each and every categories of the lead. I will just say, like, for the certified level, we don't need to, target the what we call the many categories are there specifically related to the energy modeling, energy efficiency section. But we should try our best to focus from our end, I feel we should focus on the platinum itself. If the project itself is certified, we should target it for platinum. We can make it maybe better than certified, and make it silver or gold from our end. So we should not be limited, while preparing for the documentation part or anything. We should not feel like, okay, if it is certified, then we don't need to consider other aspect of the credit categories. So this is I'm not, I'm just saying very basic definition of lead. So for, for new members who have joined, for them also it's easy to understand like what exactly is lead. Okay, now come this part. Why I put this part in this stage? The reason is this is the very, beginning stage of any project. Like whilst once the location is finalized for any green building project, first, we need to ensure the orientation part. Like specifically in Dubai, for the main glazing, it's better to select the north-south direction. Because east and west, we all know that the solar heat gain will be more. So to make it better, the selection is better to have the north south direction. So in that way, we can reduce after completion of the project, we can reduce the demand of the mechanical cooling devices. And also this during the concept design stage, normally we will go for this orientation part with the help of some windrows diagram to check the sun path, to check the prevailing wind direction. Then we will decide the orientation which is best for any building. Now comes the second, yeah, this building envelope. Yeah, building envelope, if in a very basic way, if someone wants to understand, I have, added one diagram. You can see it's a combination of roof, walls, windows, door, foundation. So that's all. It combine and it forms the building envelope section. So for that, it actually itself plays a very important role, as it's a part of the energy efficiency credit in lead. So there are few categories which plays a vital role, especially during the energy modeling sectors, like especially the U value. The U value tells how much heat is entering into the entering into the wall or the roof. So if the U value is low, it means the insulation is better. And there is one more term regarding the solar heat gain coefficient. It is actually related to the glass facade and all. So if we choose the glass which is having low shgc value, so we can reduce the it has a better insulation. So few factors we have to consider. So all these detail from where we will get once we'll start our project, we have to review few submittals. So in the submittals itself, they will provide the details of any product. Let's say we can take AAC block. For the AAC block, if the area of application is external, then obviously we need to check the U value. Well, if the U values is, complies as per our requirement. So how come we understand our requirement? So we will get from ASHRAE. There is a standard book ASHRAE. So here the allowable limit for U values for the solar heat gain coefficient, it is already there. So from there we need to check if it complies or not. If not, then we will not approve that product. So in that way, from our end, we can control that. Now comes the natural ventilation part. So this natural ventilation, especially in in arid region like Dubai, it's actually difficult to for 12 month we can't rely on the natural ventilation. For few months it's fine if there is no hot and humid climate. For that time we can, yes, shift to the operable windows and vents. Apart from that, during the hot and humid climate, it is not recommended to have a natural ventilation system. Now, yeah, so as I mentioned, all the thing which I mentioned related to the orientation and design, the building efficiency, the building envelope, and the natural ventilation, it actually connected to the energy efficiency part. Now moving to the second most important category, that is water efficiency. So in green building certification, not in LEED, in many green building certification, we have divided into two categories. First is, as I you can see, first is outdoor water, and the second one is indoor water. So for the outdoor water, the how what type of landscaping we are selecting. So in here in Dubai, the selection of a native species, as we all know, gaff tree. Gaff tree is the national tree of UAE. And apart from that, drought-resistant shrubs and ground cover, if we use in any project, then in a very good way, we can reduce the outdoor water use consumption. And also, if we opt for gray water treatment system. So gray water is nothing but the waste comes from the washroom. So if we reuse that gray water for landscaping, for flushing, so in that way also we can reduce the outdoor water use. And the next is, yeah, the use of indoor water. So for that we need to install low flow fixtures and fittings. So, and the water meter should be there to check, to monitor the water usage. So in that way, we can reduce the indoor water consumption. Now comes the third category, that is lighting efficiency. So in that also we have two categories for interior lighting as well as for exterior lighting. For interior lighting, it's actually a bit easy to understand use of LED fixtures, to give priority to the LED fixture, and to use the light sources which have CRI. So CRI is basically color rendering index, which shows the real picture, which shows a clear picture of any object. So as per green building requirement, if the value is more than 90, then it is well and good. And also provide this occupancy sensor for individual occupant spaces as well as multi occupant spaces. So that also it helps to have a better lighting efficiency. Now comes the second thing, that is exterior lighting. So for that, in we can see in many building during night time, if the street light is so bright, or if any light is creating glare, so it will impact the neighborhood, it will create disturbance. So we need to check like what type of lighting we are using. And also for different lighting zones are also there, they as per green building, and as per especially in Al Safat, Dubai Al Safat, they have mentioned about different lighting zone, which start from LZ0, which is very sensitive area, like we can say zoo or wildlife area. So in that area, the exterior lighting is completely prohibited, we can't use that. And on the other hand, there is one section LZ0, which is downtown area, especially in Dubai we have downtown area. So there, like there is we can use the lights and it will not impact the neighborhood. So in that way, we can differentiate both type of lightings. Yeah, now comes the second next part, that is sustainable material. So, to understand this, use of sustainable material, I have actually divided in three parts to, to so that, for any beginner, it will be easy for them to understand. So let's start from the first term, that is use of low emitting material. So I will say, like many finishing products such as paints, adhesive, gypsum board. So they all have some VOC content in their in the ingredient. So if we receive any submittal, let's say we are reviewing the submittal, we are going through the technical data sheet of the product, and we find the product has, let's say, the VOC of 30 grams per liter. Or and here in green building also there are allowable standard for paints, for adhesive. So we need to check if it complies or not. If not, then we will not approve the specific product. So for that also there are various tests are there, lab, third party lab test, VOC emission report is there, VOC content. So to to understand if the product is low emitting or not, we should know the VOC content and the VOC emission of the specific product. and there is use of recycled material. So if if we considering any product which has let's say for the steel. So if for making the steel, if we have used full raw material, and apart from that if we have added the recycled material, then the impact of the product will be, it will reduce the carbon emission. So this is what I want to say, like if we use the recycled material, then it will reduce the carbon emission of the specific product, and it will reduce the embodied carbon. And now comes the locally sourced material. It's nothing but like how, how we are sourcing our material, like how is the distance of the project site, and from like the distance between the project site and the extracting, sourcing and manufacturing location. So like the factory distance and the project location, how far it is. If it is, the distance is less, then obviously we can reduce the carbon emission. We can connect with the transportation part. So in that way, we can reduce the carbon emission of any certain product. So in lead we have one criteria, like if it is within 160 kilometers or 100 miles. So it considered as a, a good sustainable material. Okay, now comes to, okay, so like I have currently I'm working on, few lead projects. It's ongoing, it's not yet completed. So the design stage is still ongoing, and I just want to add like what strategies, I have included. The see this theoretical thing we already know, but when it comes to the practical part, during the construction stage, during the design stage, we will face challenges, right? So I just need to share like what challenges I have faced in some credits or in some credit categories. So yeah, let's start. Okay, so this one I have, mentioned earlier, this project which I'm currently working, it's mainly focused on the ecological awareness, energy and water consumption, sustainable material, IEQ, and waste management. Now comes to, okay, so which I really feel it's a very good strategy which they have, implemented at the for this specific project, is the landscape. In like it's more than 50 plus floors are there. So I think in 3 to 4 levels they have provided very landscaping, which is which in which they have uses more than 5 species which are actually native. It includes different type of plants, different type of shrub, ground covers. And not only in the ground floor, in the level A, like in certain level also, like they have implemented this. So obviously with the, with the help of that, they can there is a green roof. So with the help of those, obviously we can, make it will look better also. We can the green roofing and everything, we can make it better. Okay, now comes the energy efficiency strategies which we have used. So we have like third party district cooling plant. So that is actually really good to, to increase the energy efficiency. We have high efficient split units. We have this energy recovery wheel, which is basically, used to like convert the heat from incoming and outgoing air. And also we are using the high SRI value roof, reflecting roof. So that also help to, reduce the high solar heat gain. Now, regarding the water efficiency plan strategy, yes, as I mentioned, we have, native and adaptative landscaping, and also we have this low flow fixtures and fittings, like in the WC, in the kitchen faucet, and also in the shower head section. So this 3 4 categories actually we have, focused, and we checked like that there will be a test report, and we confirmed, okay, this, this is it's not like, just see the technical data sheet and we have confirmed, okay, it's fine. We go through the test report, and then after that only we we have approved those fixture and fittings, and then we finalize that. Yeah, now come to the sustainable procurement part. So as I mentioned, we have almost all the products which we are using in our project is low. Actually, it's no VOC, and the recycle content we have used for high value items such as concrete, steel, gypsum board, AC block. So for all of those products, we have the recycle content as well as it's meeting the locally sourced material requirement, and also the wood which we are using for many purposes, that also FSC COC certified. So that is also important part for the sustainable material. And now comes the part construction waste management, and this part is actually a bit challenging for us also. The reason is because this part itself, no, if we start during the very beginning stage, during the enabling stage only, then it will be easy to achieve the desirable points or the desirable recycling rate. So currently for our project we have targeted more than 50 percentage recycling rate, and we have targeted different waste type like concrete, wood, AC block, gypsum. So all these waste we are basically collecting at the site. There is designated waste collection area at the site. So and for each waste there is a recycler appointed. So for some waste the recycler will come and they will collect, and for some where there is a transporter who will collect and send it to the recycling premises. But the main challenge I feel, the contractors or the site team are not much aware about how to do the segregation properly, how to segregate the general waste or any other waste. So this makes, and also there is a space issue at the site. If we start any project, it's clear that we can't make any permanent space for the waste collection area. It will change, so it will affect the collection and the sorting part as well. So but still we are managing, and like as I mentioned, we have reached a good recycling rate for our project, and still it's ongoing, so let's see. Yeah, now come the indoor air quality section. So for that, like we have provided, it's actually in design stage. So we have, implemented the provision of the thermostat. So for all the individual occupant spaces as well as the multiple occupant spaces, thermostat has been provided, and use of the low emitting material, as I mentioned. And during the construction, there is a IAQ plan we have prepared. So as per the plan, the any sustainability member from the team have a site inspection to check the IAQ requirement. Before construction itself, we have to check a few categories which is mentioned in the SMACNA guidelines. So we have to go through each and every section requirements of the SMACNA guideline, and need to check at the site. If it doesn't comply, then yes, we need to raise the NCR, and we should close this with the closeout photos. And once it closed, then regular site visit it happen to check if it is as per the requirement or not. Yes, so like till date I shared about the lead part. Now comes the another green building certification, that is EDGE. So EDGE is excellence in design for greater efficiency. The main intent of the EDGE is basically it focuses on three measures: energy, water, and material. In lead, we have seen, it focuses on the location part, in the sustainable site, in the IAQ indoor air quality. Here, it's quite clear. Its main thing is energy, water, and material. So, and the intent is same like lead. The intent and everything is same. Only it also promote the sustainable construction. And but the way it design, it's actually different. So for Edge, we have one Edge software. It is free of cost. Anyone wants to understand the Edge, it is available online. They just go through, and even if they are planning to for the Edge exam itself, so they will provide some sample project criteria to them. So they can go and add the value and find some and they will check like how they will achieve the energy, water and material consumption. So in Edge platform, that also available if if you are planning for Edge expert exam. So as I mentioned, it's free. And there is in Lead and other platforms, there is energy modeling section is there. So sometime it's critical for the team to have such parameters. But in Edge, in the software itself, if we add the parameters or anything, the software itself will calculate. If we just add the thickness of the material, then the software will calculate the U value. So we just need to add the manufacturer details and specification related to the product, and the product and the software itself will give us the exact detail which is required. So yeah, so I will go one by one about the requirement of the Edge. So Edge, in the Edge, there are three categories. First is Edge certified. So for Edge certified, as I mentioned, there are three measures, right? Energy, water, and material. If we achieve at least 20% reduction in all the three parameters, then it's good to go. We'll achieve the Edge certification. This is very primary certificate. And other than that, there is second. If in the energy section, if we achieve 40 percentage or more than that, then we are eligible for Edge advanced. And on the other hand, for the third one, we need to achieve this 40%. It's fixed. And apart from that, use of the 100% renewable energy on the site. So for that thing, we will achieve the third part, that is zero carbon. So this is how they have divided the three Edge certification levels. Yes, now, okay. So, currently, for Edge, yeah, means I'm working on one more project, that is Edge. It is in Dubai, and we have already achieved the preliminary design certificate, which is basically like in Edge also, same like Lead. In Edge, we have two stages: design stage and construction stage. So here we have added all the datas which is required for the design stage. And we have like completed, and from the IFC, they are the provider of that certification. They have provided us the preliminary certificate. And so this is how it's going. But still currently we are working on the construction stage. So for that, we need to check with the site team. We need date stamp photos. So in the design stage, what we have added, let's say we have added the gypsum board, the glass detail. So we have mentioned U value is this much. We have used glass from this manufacturer now. And the glass belongs to the curtain wall or section. So now we need to take the photo, in which in that in the photo itself, it will show the manufacturer name. Or U value, obviously it's not possible, so manufacturer name it will be shared. Or else, if it is not available, if in the glass the manufacturer name is not showing, so we have another option. We can select purchase receipt. So in the purchase receipt, obviously they will add the details of the manufacturer of the product. So mostly in Edge, we need to provide such data for the construction stage. All the date stamp photos or the purchase receipt of all the application we have applied during design stage. Yeah, so same. I'm not going to explain each and every part. It's actually same. The energy measures, no, which we have implemented, like efficient HVAC system, the lighting design, and the better building envelope. So same what we did, for Lead, same technique we have applied in Edge. So I have explained, like for walls we have the U value mentioned less than 0.4. You can see, so this is how we have added, and it is as per ASHRAE requirement, and it meets all the product which we are using. It meets the allowable requirement. For the roof and for the payments, the SRI, the solar reflectance index, which we used, is also as per the requirement. The SHGC value for the glass, you can see, it also meets the allowable requirement. Now comes, yeah, so also we have this chiller, we have added the lighting, internal lighting and external lighting. As I mentioned, we have already implemented like this. We have already implemented, we have smart meters and CO monitors already installed in the parking spaces. For the water measure also, for the efficient shower head, faucets, WC, machines, what flush rate and flow rate, we have consider to make it more sustainable and to achieve those measures. We actually adapted these measures. Now comes the outdoor water part, and for that also there is a provision of gray water treatment system for this specific product for project, and the drip irrigation system is there. So as compared to the sprinkling, obviously drip irrigation system, the consumption is less, water consumption is less, and for the landscaping itself, we have achieved more than 50% reduction in the outdoor water use for the landscaping part. And smart monitoring to check the water users already installed. Yeah, regarding the material measures, as I mentioned, for the external walls, the U values and also the recycled content is considered. For the AC block, for the floor finish, the recycled tiles we have used, and also for the window frame, we select the high performance curtain wall. For the glazing, we prefer the double glazed glass. And also for the solar heat gain coefficient for the glass itself, we only consider that type of glass which has which can block the sun to directly enter into the building. So in that way, that with this SHGC will really help. If the allowable values is within the limit, then we can reduce the use of the cooling mechanical cooling devices. So yeah, we just completed the discussion regarding this lead and edge. So I think I have somehow I explained it, like the minor difference and the similarities between the edge and lead certification. So as I mentioned, if we want if we want to add more comprehensive sustainability objective, then it's better to go for lead, because it covers more categories. But in edge, the categories are less. If you have some time, like timeline is there, if you have budget constraint, then go for edge, because it's better. But as I mentioned, it depends on the project context and the objective, what exactly the client want. So it depends, so we can't say which one is better. So here also the same I mentioned, like it focused on the only three measures. Here there are indoor environmental criteria is there, sustainable site requirements are there. We need to focus on the EIA part as well in the lead, but in edge it's actually limited. So and also the certification level is actually different. If we only achieve the 20% reduction in all the three categories, then it's we can achieve. But in lead it's not like that. For all the categories, the requirement is actually different. For let's say for the indoor water, the requirement is at least 20% reduction, and for outdoor it's 30% reduction. So it varies in lead. And also the timeline for edge is less compared to lead, because there are lots of process for submitting the documents in the lead itself. We need there is lead online platform in which we need to first register our project, and then there are we need to upload all the documents. There will be the review, and if there is any comment, then again we need to check from the very beginning. So it's time consuming in lead. But yeah, for the broader aspect, if we are planning to target more categories, more sustainable categories, then lead is also a better option. Yeah, so yeah, with that note, I'm going to close my what I experience and my experience. So I feel here in UAE, sustainability is not luxury. It is actually strategy how we can with the required, with what we have, with that how we can make things better. Here in UAE we can do that. We have various options, we have native species plant, so in that way we can make it better. So yeah, that's it from my end.
Thank you very much, Shruti. What stands out immediately is the emphasis on integration and
Yeah,
how sustainability is not just an add on but a structural component of project delivery. And
exactly.
I think you highlighted some of the important aspects like the role of internal alignment during the project and knowing all of these different technical aspects, technical steps that need to be checked and reviewed, and that will be going through a stringent review, during the submission process, and also the importance of measurable outcomes, where we quantify, use data, use specifications in order to actually measure sustainability and
Yeah,
how things will perform, how the building performs, how the space will perform on all these different factors. And also, what I also noticed was the shift from just a checkbox kind of compliance where it's A, B, C, D, E has to be done, and so you do that, but rather looking at what is it we are trying to achieve at the end, and
yeah,
then working backwards to achieve that final outcome or the final goal. So from a checkbox compliance to a performance driven strategy. So
yeah,
let's maybe unpack some of these ideas a little more as we go into the question answer round of the webinar.
yeah,
So
yeah,
if unless you have anything else to add, we'll now begin the question answer round.
yeah, sure.
All right. So my first question is about the theme around the desert context specifically, since this is designing for the desert. In desert context and climate responsive foundations, the your presentation talked about how the desert is not empty.
Yeah.
So, how should this ecological perspective influence planning and development decisions, specifically for the climate of arid regions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as I mentioned, desert is not often perceived as it is empty, but ecologically, it is not empty, it is balanced. Like we have native vegetation, we have, drought resistant shrubs are there, we have this natural wind and sand movement patterns. As well as groundwater recharge system is there. So this desert system often allow us to shift from extraction based development to adaptation based development. So it's as I mentioned, we need to adapt with the desert requirements, with the desert region.
Absolutely. So now moving to the next question, which is
Yeah.
about how can building orientation
Mm-hmm.
uh, and along with shading strategies
Mm-hmm.
and prevailing wind direction, how can all of this be utilized
Mm-hmm.
to bring significant reduction on the dependence for air conditioning, mechanical cooling?
Okay, so regarding this orientation, as I earlier mentioned in my presentation also, it plays a major role, to control the cooling load. So if in the main glazing, we opt for we will not select the east-west direction in the main glazing or in the, so in that way, we can reduce the solar heat gain for the orientation part. So it is ultimately connected to less use of the mechanical cooling devices. And for the shading devices such as overhang, it will block the entrance of the sun to directly into the any building. So in that way less energy will be used. And for the prevailing wind is the is actually the most common wind we can say. So in Dubai it's basically we can say northwest direction wind. So that also help to understand. So in the we can say in the orientation part itself we will understand the direction, so on that way we can design our building.
All right, all right. So taking these into account and trying to leverage that in the interaction of the building design with
Yeah,
the sun, shade, wind, we're able to somewhat use those to our advantage. All right.
correct.
My third question is about in hot, humid climates,
Mm-hmm.
like desert climates like Dubai, which passive strategy delivers the best and highest performance impact? Is
Okay.
it thermal mass? Is it reflective roofing? Or is it natural ventilation? Or any other one?
Okay, okay. So in arid region, reflective roofing, I feel it's more effective. The reason is, if for the roof, if we have provided this any kind of material which we are using, which has a very good SRI value, and we are using light colored material in that, so we can reduce the solar heat gain. Thermal mass is less effective. The reason is it depends, like if day is warm and night is cool, so in that region, in that area it's fine, we can go for thermal mass. But in Dubai it's practically not possible in in all climate. During winter okay we can go for that, but during extreme heat it's not possible. So thermal mass also not considerable. And the third one you mentioned, natural ventilation. Yeah, so for natural ventilation here in Dubai, it's not possible due to the humid and hot air. So natural ventilation is the least option one can consider. So the best is reflective roofing.
All right, all right. So based on these three, thermal mass is eliminated due to extreme temperatures that we're getting seasonally and not on a
Yeah,
diurnal basis. And natural ventilation, I think, would also require a lot of treatment. Like even if
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
naturally ventilated, you need to have some kind of water or moisture, or something added in addition to just direct natural ventilation. So I think the most effective would be reflective roofing out of these three.
yeah,
And also, I guess it depends on the amount of roof area that the building has. So,
yeah.
especially for lower buildings, low rise buildings, probably be even more effective. Um,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So, now moving to the next theme, which is about high performance systems and
Mm-hmm.
technical integration. So, my fourth question is, how do envelope performance metrics such as U value, SHGC, and SRI, how do these directly influence the energy consumption when we're talking about buildings in the desert?
Yeah, so this U value I already mentioned, right? How the heat is entering into the building, how much heat is entering into any section of a building, let's say floor, wall, roof. So it the U value tells if the value is less, as I mentioned, the building perform well. So in that criteria, the use of the mechanical cooling devices will be yes. So we can reduce the energy consumption. with that. So selection of the material which is having low U value will be it's helpful to achieve those section. And regarding the SHGC value that is related to the glass, for that also we need to check how much the heat is passing through the glass, the sun is passing through the glass. So to check that if the SHGC value is less and it's better, so the indoor environment will be slightly cooler. So the usage of the mechanical cooling devices will be lesser. And for the reflecting roofing, just now we have discussed the the requirements. If it is if we use the roofing devices which is having good SRI value higher than, specifically for Dubai climate, if it is higher than 80, and also if we are using the light colored cement or any kind of product on that, so it will affect, and the solar heat gain can be reduced. So in that way, by with these three criteria, if we apply in our application, then yes, we can reduce the energy consumption.
All right, fantastic. So these three will tell us about opaque, transparent, and reflectivity. And with these three, we can actually bring down a lot of the impact. The heat ingress can be reduced drastically,
Yes.
and therefore consumption. All right, fantastic. So now moving to my next question.
Yeah.
How effective are integrated systems like adiabatic cooling or energy recovery wheels, which you mentioned in your slides, and also smart metering? How are these effective in managing and controlling peak cooling loads?
Okay, so this adiabatic cooling basically pre-cools the air with the help of water evaporation. So there is less use of electricity. So in that way we can understand if we are there is less load on the chiller. So that way we can reduce the energy consumption. The second part I have already mentioned this that is energy recovery wheel. So for that also the energy recovery will transfer the heat between the incoming and outgoing air. So in that way it there is less use of mechanical cooling devices. And the third one is smart metering. Smart energy meters usually monitors and optimizes the energy usage. So for the any cooling system, when it is actually needed, then only we need to use the cooling system. So in that way we can do that.
Okay. Now moving to my sixth question, which is about extreme water scarcity context.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we have less water, or water is extremely hard to access, or we've limited water supply, in these contexts, which strategy has the strongest long-term value?
Okay.
Is it low flow fixtures, or grey water reuse, or climate responsive landscaping?
Okay, so for that, it's we can't select this low flow fixture because it depends upon the usage of the occupants as well. So we can't truly depends on that. And same with the grey water reuse. For some project, it's not possible to install the grey water treatment plan. So the ideal selection for this is efficient landscaping. With the help and the landscaping I already mentioned, selection of the native species, going for the drip irrigation. So using this techniques, I feel landscaping it's better compared to the other two option.
Understood. So you're saying that if we take care of water use in landscape and bring that down, that's the one we can control 100% and
Yeah,
make sure that we're not using as much water. The others are a bit dependent on entire recycling plant, or
exactly.
dependent on the user behavior as well. Okay, got it.
Yes, yes.
Now moving to the next theme, which is about materials, procurement, and construction realities.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how does sustainable procurement, for example, your low VOC materials or the recycled content that you talked about, and also locally sourced materials, how do these impact both environmental performance and how do they impact air quality?
Yeah, so this low VOC products, if we are not going to use any products which which has which don't have the VOC content as acceptable in any green building certification, then it will impact the indoor air. So for that, obviously we need to check each and every material which we are going to use at the site having the allowable VOC. And also regarding the recycle content, this recycle content and regional material, actually they are interconnected, I'll say. So if we select such material, let's say for the concrete, if we are going to select, there will be a GGBS. So for that there is a recycled content will be there. So that GGBS itself, we can procure from the locally sourced area. It's actually easy to find it out. So from my experience, I feel we need to list it out, the name of products, and from which manufacturer we are obtaining those products. Same we can do for all the MEP civil products. So once we will prepare the whole list, we will have an idea. Okay, so for our next project we can go for certain product. In that way, we can perform better. Okay, in first project we understood for this and that manufacturer, they have all the supporting documents which is needed for better sustainable construction. So we will opt for such manufacturer. And also, if some manufacturers are not aware about some certifications, or we can have a small meetings or have a one-on-one discussion. So and currently many manufacturers are also interested to know about sustainable requirements of any products. Many vendors have actually contacted me to know, let's say for the paints, how they can make it better, what certification they can go for. So from our end, we suggested for some certification like EPD, health product declaration. So in that way, they have even provided us all the required documents from manufacturer. So yeah, there is bit lack of awareness, what I feel, among the manufacturer, because they are not technically aware about the sustainability. But yeah, it's growing compared to my previous consultancy. If I feel, yeah, it's our manufacturers are quite bit aware.
All right, so it's a growing awareness that's happening in the
Yeah,
field. While earlier there was a lot of confusion, a lot of misinformation. Now people are a lot more aware, and there are a lot more methods, a lot more tracks that vendors can also follow and
yeah,
get their products certified, get their products verified, checked, and also become eligible for green building product selection.
yeah,
So, all right. So that's a very positive, hopeful thought, and it's good to know that things are getting better, things are moving in that direction.
yeah.
All right. Now moving to my next question, which is also about
Mhm.
materials, but in a little bit of a different way. This is about construction reality. So, what are the
Mhm.
biggest operational challenges in achieving high construction, waste diversion targets? Because you mentioned that in this project, which you talked about, 50% of waste recycling is actually a big number to be able to achieve, especially in Middle Eastern projects. So, what are the biggest operational challenges while achieving that 50% in waste recycling and waste diversion targets?
Yeah, so I feel first is, actually there are three points which I really need to highlight. First is space issue in the site. If you know the proper designated area, if we not provide for the waste, then the segregation will be very difficult. So for the proper recycling, segregation is the most important factor. So yeah, first is the space issue, and the second is awareness. Awareness among the site team, among the contractor. If they are not aware what exactly we want, what is our requirement. If okay, first we will conduct the inspections, we'll conduct the trainings. But after that, it's not it's not like they are going to implement all of a sudden. We need to guide them on a regular basis. then only. So if in the site, if some strict action, some mandatory requirement or policy will be implemented at the site, then this issues we can solve. And the third is, I feel, the distance of the recycling premises. Most of the recycling premises are really far away from the project location, most of them. So that also, it's somehow connected to the that transportation part, connected to the carbon emission. So I feel this three section.
All right. Now I'm going to go to my last theme, which is also my last two questions of the webinar,
Mm-hmm.
um, which is, and this is about green building certifications as strategic drivers. So, do certification frameworks like LEED or like EDGE, do they genuinely enhance climate responsive design, or do they often risk becoming, compliance driven checklist where we're just trying to meet the minimum standard or meet the list of things that are given, and we just need to somehow add it into the building or into the design? Or are they genuinely enhancing climate responsive design? I mean, this is your personal opinion and your own experience that we're looking to understand.
Yeah, so for any green building certification, actually, I have worked on many of certification like ST Rama. Well, I have worked. So I feel, if our intent is to only, collect the points, if we are working to, to just get the point, so what we are doing, we are just, filling the checklist. So this should not be, the objective of any green building certification. The design team or the construction team should, work on the actual performance of the building. So this is how, we can make a difference. If we don't need, we just as I mentioned earlier also, if the project is in a very, if we are targeting for the certified level, let's go and target for the gold or platinum level. We need to think in a broader way, and in a realistic approach, we have to initiate any green building certification. So that's how we should plan.
Right, right, right. So that's the ideal situation, and that's what you're saying is how one should approach it. Uh, Although it finally comes down to the user of these green buildings rating
Mm-hmm.
systems and how one uses it. Is it as a point based? It can be used as a point based as well. It could also be used as a genuine driver for sustainability. It's up to
Exactly.
the actual design
Yeah.
team, the actual user, and us as the sustainability consultants to actually decide how sincere and how meaningful the changes are for the design. All right.
Exactly.
Thank you for that answer and your honesty. Moving to my last question, in a design sense, when we're talking about a high solar exposure context like Dubai,
Mm-hmm.
at what time should a project prioritize, the edge, resource efficiency focus versus the lead's comprehensive sustainability framework? So, how does one decide, which one to use at which stage of the project? Especially because high solar exposure is the norm. Um, one side is resource efficiency, one side is comprehensive sustainability. So
Mm-hmm.
how do you, prioritize this on a project-to-project basis, and even within the project lifecycle?
See, the selection of either lead or edge building certification is depend upon the scope and objective of any project. It depends on the location also, where exactly is the project located, and most importantly, what client exactly need. So if first they need, they should tell us what are their requirements. So based on that, any sustainability consultant can suggest if it is edge is good for the particular project, or the lead is good. As I mentioned, if they are thinking for a broader sustainability aspects, then lead is really good. It is globally recognized. It covers so many other categories which is not even covered in edge. But if they have time, they have any specific timeline, they have budget issue, and they don't want to consider other factors which location or any sustainable site kind of thing, then they can go for edge. So it's actually, yeah, so it depends on project and depends on the objective.
Understood. Understood. All right. Superb. So I think with that, we are now at the close of this webinar. Before we go, I'd just like to open the floor to audience questions as well. Let's just see if we have any questions from the audience, and we can maybe take a look and answer those before we close. So let me just take a look. Just a second. Mm. Right, so I don't see any questions as of now. Let me just take a look. All right. So there's one question which is in real project conditions, what typically creates more resistance? Is it cost, timelines, or contractor capability or awareness?
Okay, so in it, I feel it's a combination of all. We can't, tell any other any specific, category if it is cost or, but still I feel out of, I think awareness is also there, right? The awareness option is also there. So the first very initial step is obviously the awareness, which is currently, yeah, growing, but I can't say, it's complete everywhere regarding the sustainability, because I itself feel, as I mentioned, no, for means met many manufacturers, they are not understand what exactly, sustainability is, what we are doing. So awareness is actually really important, and then we can, go for the timeline, for the cost. So first is actually the awareness among, among the people who are involving to any project.
All right, wonderful. So, with that, I think we come to a close. I'd like you to just give one last answer, which is just a message actually
Mhm.
to all of our audience, all the architects and designers and sustainability consultants out there about what do you think one should think about, focus on for the future, and how one should kind of approach the future of sustainability in Dubai.
Yeah, so to all who are, hearing me right now, I just want to say sustainability is not any luxury. People will feel, okay, it is for luxury, the things which we are doing. But currently, in today's scenario, I feel it is a survival strategy. So one should, aware about this thing we all are doing, to protect our planet. So it's a duty of each and every citizen to have, awareness among the sustainability, at least the basic awareness about, sustainability. Then they can have, a small contribution from their end. So that's how, what I need to share with all.
All right. So thank you. Thank you very much, Shruti, for sharing clarity and depth from the developer side of sustainability. These conversations help bridge the gap between design ambition and delivery reality. To everyone who joined us today, thank you for investing your Sunday afternoon in climate responsive thinking. We'll be back next week at 2 p.m. Dubai time with another expert shaping sustainable development in arid regions. Until then, stay curious, stay climate conscious, and keep designing with purpose.
Thank you, Udit.
Thank you.